and didn't.
Water.
I mean,
The ship couldn't leave yet.
One of the crewmen that sail the ship could take over in a snap and
Okay.
probably get a promotion on the spot. And
That's
all
too
that
many
kind of-
people to shove. Okay, let's go
Yeah, it
after
is.
the.
And then you got no one to run the ship.
Is there such a thing?
Sorry?
Is there such a thing as too many people to shove?
no.
All right.
How many pairs of stairs there
I'll
are?
tell you right now, there's no such thing.
It depends how many stairs there
I'll
are.
shove them all.
Okay, so
wait,
So little
time
boat,
does
there's so many
pass.
shoves.
All right. So what do I do now?
For you, I want you to ignore my channel for a little bit and just drop your diplomacy into the little tower icon in the lower right-hand corner. It's a little square tower keep. That will you drop the dice there, and it rolls it secretly on your screen, visible on my stream.
Okay, hold on. Do what now?
Power.
Yeah, start over.
Let me get rid of some of these.
Oh, I see that. Hold on. There's the tower down in the bottom right.
Yeah,
I
yeah, the
drop
bottom
it
right.
in there. My.
Yeah, that's where you would put your
diplomacy?
diplomacy roll. Yeah, that's where.
Diplomacy.
Yeah. Well, for you, Ty, though, you're are you going to be working your diplomacy as well? Like two of you
Fuck
trying to
no,
convince?
I'm not. I don't.
Okay, then you don't have to.
Come on.
You
I
can just.
think she's my backup. If
Yeah.
I can't persuade him, then she's gonna shove him. And if that'll persuade him.
That's
Or
a different
grab
kind of
him by the neck and be
persuasion.
like, hey. All right, so I'm dropping it in your tower.
Yep. Giggity.
Yeah, but yes, you are.
Can I see what I rolled or no?
No.
The audience can, and they can spy, but we're going to get the results in soon.
That's hence why I can't look at your channel. Okay.
So, okay. So, let us start with. You are able to. We'll start with you, Ciala, because you're going to have an extra action to do. As I will admit, you have rolled a natural 20 critical for convincing our audience.
Done.
What do you go?
Not
Nat,
only
Nat.
have you been able to convince him without a shred of evidence that this town might be in danger, now, on his behalf, he was sent here to investigate a possible threat. So hearing that come from you wasn't too far of a leap. But he is ready to scramble this militia, get them to go door to door and start letting the people of the town know. If the mayor gives you any problem, he will put the mayor in cuffs and drag him out of this town for you guys. So at this point, he gets Pizza Face and everyone like that to
I
start
have
organizing
got to a new interest. Pizza
an
Face.
interest in that. Secondly, he does ask if you have been betrothed to anyone.
I have not, but I'm not looking for marriage. But good times, good times.
And he just smirks.
Is this an
Are
open-
any of us? As you've now basically also there's a thing about neutrality and a person's opinion of you. You've actually pushed him to the higher tier of things, so he will trust you unless you give him any reason to break that trust. So you've actually befriended. If we're playing The Sims, you've gone right across the bar with that roll. All right, there you go. But yeah, then that.
Is this an open marriage?
So are you married? But anyway, and Scarf and good old Scarface is like, yeah, he's just getting the stuff done. He's just getting the troops ready. The boat's being detained, and he's actually getting some troops, the people on board, to make space on the boat for any elderly or people that can't really walk. They can take the boat, and those that are able to walk and move are going to organize in the wagons that were being brought up for the festivities to help wagon people out of here. Does that sound okay?
Sounds like a plan. I'm glad
Now, who's the next person on your list?
my next person on the list is, what's Ilva up to? Is she still along with me? Or is
Yeah.
she-
Yes.
Okay.
And you have to admit, Elva, she has literally seduced the pants off of this guy. She's got him wrapped around his finger, an officer of the Duke's army.
Yeah. I would like to sit here and talk with Ilva about our next step. I would like to suggest we need to figure out a way to go after the Scottish chicken and seduce her, or whatever we need to do to convince her. We got Mr. Soldier Pants right here, but I think the priestess are in. But I want to know what you think.
I agree with you entirely. Your charisma has won me over. You're hot as fuck. Why would I say no?
Well, I was asking your opinion, not telling you.
Oh no, I don't have opinions with an 18 plus charisma.
Alrighty, so
At that point, Heldelson just walks by and smirks to the camera and then walks away again.
Charisma on Hiddleston and get him on with Eva? Can I do this?
So next we
make
go to
this a thing?
Brynjar. Brynjar. You were able, as far as you could tell, to hide and move quietly through the area. You did pick up the scent of campfire smoke. Not a huge amount, but a subtle amount. You were unable to search for any remnants, per se, but you did see a few small fallen trees that, basically something that isn't as obvious. They've been cut and broken. So there are signs that some people have been cutting and working here, but it could be something as simple as woodcutters or that around here. As you
Woodcutters are
continue,
attacking.
yeah, they're unionized and they didn't get the pumpkin festival going on, so So it looks like there has been activity here, but there's no big obvious ones. Do you want to continue your search going further from that point or return back? If you search a bit further, you may or may not gain information, but you will arrive back to the town closer to the evening if you take that choice. Are you there, Orange?
Yes. Sorry. I am. I'll search a little bit more.
You will search a little bit more? Okay, you're heading up to search a little bit more. I only need you to roll a search and survival again. Your hide and your move silently seem to be apt enough for what you're doing. And the terrain's also giving you a little bit of a bonus as you've got some shrubs and stuff to work by.
So
Now cut
search
to
and survival.
Apollo. Yeah, drop them into the little tower again for me. Up.
Search.
Alrighty. Apollo, your area in there. You think you may have not done that good hiding because first off, there's some stones and all that stuff. You were quiet. You were like a ninja, just kind of moving across. But when you realize that a goat sitting on a rock, just chewing some grass cud, is like watching you cut across the ground, you think your hiding was not that good.
Hey, go through OP.
You are able to find the remnants of a small campfire. Your survival skill tells you that this campfire was made low and with a high rock cover to help break up the amount of light it would have transmitted. And it's been kicked over a bit to make sure it's not as obvious, but you were able to find it. This was near the river, and you can hear the rapids and all that stuff. As you explore a little bit further, you notice something slightly odd in the section of river that you were investigating with what you did on your roll, is there are fragments of ice that are still slightly melting, stuck to some of the rocks on the edges of the river.
I know how they cross the river.
So it looks like something came across the river, set up a camp, and if you want to spend some more time, again, this would push you into the evening, you could try and explore out from that fire to see what direction they headed after the fact, whether it was back over the water, but this would involve you getting across this river somehow to investigate both sides. That's why you're going to burn more time to do this. Or head back with just that bit of information that you've got.
Home time.
Pardon?
Home time.
You're going to head up home? All right, no problem. You have seen some evidence. It looks like it looks like some freezing of the water was done, so you're heading back home. No problem. The priest, roll me another diplomacy, please.
Do I do it in the tower or no?
Yep, in the tower.
In the
Giggity.
tower.
You're doing
The
it
tower
in the tower.
is my special spot. That's where I get all my good rolls.
It's the sex tower, not the sex dungeon. It's the sex tower.
Look, the lights go on when I put it over the tower.
Yeah, and then when you get in the tower, the lights go out.
That's so cool. I'm so easily amused. Alrighty, it's in the tower. I'm not looking at your stream.
No problem.
Although with the delay,
You are very convincing, but this guy's got issues. Dead wife issues and all that stuff. You're very convincing, but he doesn't believe. He believes that Sienna has forsaken him. because he had the ability.
So he doesn't think that he can convince her.
He doesn't think he because he was given the ability to help the village, but for some reason he was given the ability to heal the village, yet Sienna let his wife die. What justice is that? There's no logic to that.
We don't need to know about justice. We need to know what it is we need to give her to get
I
her.
don't talk about justice.
So
I mean,
it sounds like
what
you're
do
not
I
too
have to-
convincing.
do I have to get that goat up there and cut its head off and give it to her? What?
I'm on pictures like that llama in Emperor's New Groove, just off in the camera shot. Just chewing
I
on
don't
what?
care about justice. I need to convince this goddess to do what I ask her, and I need to know what it is I can buy her with. I don't think she's going to help us out of the good of her heart. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I need to know what I need to do to bribe her ass to help us.
Well, he just is fine. He just went up there and prayed. Why don't you just go up there and pray? Kind of flustered and frustrated and still can't take his eyes off your breasts. But he's just like, he doesn't believe in himself.
Should I
Like,
pray
you
with
could
my
tell him to
breasts?
go up there and pray, but he doesn't believe
Should
in
I
himself.
pray with my breasts?
I mean, I'm looking at him and I'm telling him, here's the thing, dude. If they get in this town, they're going to get to that thing in that crypt. They're going to get to it. End of story. It's going to happen.
You've got a very convincing argument. Make a second roll. You don't have to do a hidden roll right now. You can just roll it at this point. 'cause you already
Diplomacy or
know. Diplomacy again. You don't have to roll it in the tower. You can just roll it in the channel because you've
lights
given
go
a
on
new
in the
good
tower.
argument.
They
Good
like,
enough. You needed a 16 to convince him, and yeah. So you didn't get it the one time, but you got that time. So you convince him. He still doesn't believe so, but he's heading off to the tree to pray at the tree.
Better pray.
And Renset, your character still has one more action to do before the first part of the afternoon is complete. Anything else?
Okay, so we've talked to the dude. We've saved
You
the village. What
ladies
was
are
the
set.
third-
You ladies are set. Just like Renset's the only person that has one more thing left to do, really, if anything.
I think he needs to help
Or
us.
just go for a
Thinking
nap.
that way.
Can you? Is there
Bacon's
something in
probably
your book?
cooked.
No, I got nothing in the book. No.
Nobody.
There's nothing you could do for us to get more information on this bitch and what we gotta do to convince her.
You're speaking
It's a
about a
god,
goddess.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of pudding does she like? Do we gotta bake a pie? What? There's gotta be something
You
wonderful.
need to know what we're skilling. Can't come up with anything else. Aside from helping organize the town up.
Oh, by the way, you are surprised that you're seeing the soldiers literally going door to door, helping
Yeah.
people, telling them what to get.
You're
No,
welcome.
don't care about that. That's amazing. You wouldn't have never expected that going. The mayor's already made a comment, but Scarface kind of showed him this. Technically, it should be called. He calls it a knife, but the legal stats for a short sword is about the length of the knife he's got in his hand. So he does not seem to be charismatic at all, but he does seem to be very good at making a point.
With his sword.
Well, the town's got no defenses whatsoever, right?
Not really, no. There is a town militia, which are a bunch of people haphazard together. They have some spears, a few long swords, and some
Hey,
pitchforks.
whoever was above that ship, right? Who was on that ship? How many soldiers?
That's the only military force you got, which is not your own. That just luckily is here.
Okay. And luckily is.
No, half a day, can't do a thing. No,
No?
no. I'll just help out in town as best I can now.
Oh, through Dove's Ale Tavern, if you need to, you have the means to send a message back home. You've got a message spell that basically the Dovedale Tavern is not your father's thing.
No,
but
it's
if need
not.
be, you can send a message, but it's just a quick sentence. It's like the message spell. It's a quick sentence. You can't really explain everything that's going on with it, but it's more like, "Daddy, I need more money." That kind of thing is what you've probably used it in the past, but you can send a message out
The
how
din are
fast you get a
coming.
message back
Here
or
is
what you can
coming.
say. It's
The
limited to
din
about a
are
sentence.
coming.
What?
Where's the din?
The din is coming. The
Frost
din